The Houston Rockets have finished with the worst record in the NBA for 2 straight seasons. And yes, you can point to a lot of good moments throughout the year, but a bad season is a bad season. The Rockets couldn't have gotten off to a worse start to the season as they lost 15 out of 16 games. And later on, there was another point in the season where they did the exact same thing. The Rockets ended up winning only 20 games, dead last in the NBA for a young and developing team. But this was kind of the expected outcome for a franchise still trying to recover from trading away their former franchise player, James Harden. For a young team like this who are rebuilding, it's obvious that being able to draft in the top 5 or top 3 is crucial for a franchise to get back on their feet. Head coach Stephen Silas believes that winning is an important part of developing players, so they can learn how to deliver in tough situations. No coach goes into the season expecting to tank. But even as the Rockets tried to compete harder in the West, they still ended up being the worst team in the league record-wise. Last summer, they had the opportunity to draft 2nd overall, and they selected the high-flying Jalen Green. In this past offseason, they drafted 3rd overall and selected Auburn big man Jabari Smith, which was unexpected to say the least. Smith was projected to go number 1 until like 24 hours before the draft. Now, he did not stand out during Summer League play like Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero did, but he still showed he has the ability to change the game on both ends of the court. At 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, he has good lateral quickness and mobility. His defensive profile is incredible. He's probably one of the best pure shooters in this draft class, definitely among big men. But being able to tighten up his handle will go a long way in him becoming a possible elite shot creator. Someone who you can just give the ball to in any situation and make a play. At this point of his game, he's an exceptional jump shooter and a good versatile defensive player and a decent rebounder. I believe he's on track to at least be a good NBA player, but being able to improve his handle could decide if he's going to be just a good NBA player or potentially a great NBA player. He's in a good position to win the Rookie of the Year award, along with a few other guys. The start of the season for Jalen Green in his rookie season was rough to say the least. He struggled with consistency and minor injuries early on. And as soon as he went out with an injury, the team actually started to win a couple of games without him. So not only was he struggling with his game, the team was actually better without him early on. It wasn't a good look for the 2nd overall pick. But his performance in the first half of the season compared to the second was like night and day. Green showed up and showed out in the last 2 months of the season, including a stretch of 30-plus point games that set rookie records. Green looked like the elite talent the Rockets were banking on him becoming when they drafted him. The Rockets believe that they have one of the foundations of their rebuild in Jalen Green. There's plenty of room for growth with this young guy. And the progress he took in just 1 season should give Rocket fans a lot of hope going forward. The only thing I worry about this team currently is their point guard position. Trying to turn Kevin Porter Jr. into a point guard is like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Porter is just as much of a scorer as Jalen Green is. In today's NBA, it would be ideal for your point guard to get his teammates involved and then finds his own shots in the flow of the game. Somebody who can score with anyone, but tends to let the game come to him, ultimately finding his spots when needed. Porter has always played on the wing, and his focus has always been scoring. He will start the season as a starting point guard, but I believe for this team to progress like they should, they need to bring in a real point guard that doesn't have that much of a score-first mentality. Somebody like Mike Conley in Utah. And you also have rookie Ty Washington from Kentucky that could get a lot of minutes as a backup this season. This team thinks very highly of their other first-round pick from last year, big man Alperen Sengun. He's one of the main reasons why the team traded their best player from last year in Christian Wood. Wood is just 26 and is basically in his prime. A 6'9" who can play multiple big man positions. But the Rockets see something special in Sengun. This trade made so much sense given where the Rockets are and what they're trying to build. They want to be able to stay flexible financially with their roster, and they weren't willing to make a big money decision on Wood next summer when he becomes an unrestricted free agent. The team believes Şengün needs these minutes at the center position to develop and play up to his full potential. The Rockets have placed a lot of faith in this guy going forward. Şengün can do a little bit of everything, and his passing skills reminds a lot of fans of a player like Nikola Jokic. He could be the piece the Houston Rockets are looking for in the middle. Other young players like Josh Christopher, KJ Martin, and Jae'Sean Tate will have to continue to get better and prove to head coach Stephen Silas that they deserve to be in the rotation. The Rockets are looking to build a champion from the ground up. If players like Green and Şengün both take big leaps this season, and Smith justifies his draft position, the Rockets could be out of the lottery and on their way to relevancy at this time next year. The talent of this young core will keep this team from finishing with the league's worst record for the third consecutive year. This season is going to show who fits into the team's blueprint going forward. Basketball is more than just scoring buckets. You have to play defense, and you need to provide some intangibles that don't show up on the box score. It's hard for a young team like the Rockets to develop that quickly. I believe players like Kevin Porter Jr. and KJ Martin have a lot to prove this season. Porter is in the last year of his contract, and Martin just has 1 year left on his deal that is not guaranteed. It will be an exciting year for the Houston Rockets, but I don't believe they are ready to take a big leap in the standings just yet. I have the Houston Rockets finishing in 13th place with a 24-58 record. I don't have the Rockets finishing with the worst record in the league for the third straight year, mostly because of teams like the San Antonio Spurs and the Utah Jazz. Both of those teams have made no secret that they're trying to tank this season. The Houston Rockets actually got younger this offseason. 8 players on this team will be in their rookie or second year in the league. So it will be another year of growing pains, development, growth, and looking for flashes and potential. The Rockets still have a long way to go before they can seriously contend for a spot in the play-in tournament.